It's 3 the morning. You're standing in the dark, half asleep, hoping for relief. But your body doesn't cooperate. You try. Nothing. You wait. Then finally a weak, unsatisfying trickle. You sigh, shuffle back to bed, only to repeat it all again an hour later. By morning, you feel more drained than rested. And the worst part? You're starting to wonder if this is just how life goes now. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common but least talked about issues for men over 60. The root of it all often comes down to something most men never even think about until it causes problems: the prostate. Now, imagine your urethra as a garden hose, and your prostate as your hand slowly squeezing it shut. That's what happens when this small gland, about the size of a walnut, begins to enlarge with age. It wraps around the urethra, and as it swells, it compresses that flow more and more. It's called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, and according to the National Institutes of Health, more than half of men in their 52nd already show signs of it. After 70, it affects over 80%. The symptoms sneak in gradually. You notice your stream's not as strong. You feel like you never fully empty. You get up once, then twice, then 3 times at night. But here's what no one tells you: this isn't just normal aging. It's not something you have to live with. I've spent over 3 decades helping men restore peace to their nights, strength to their stream, and confidence to their lives. And I can tell you, there are answers. Simple, natural, research-backed daily habits that protect the prostate and reduce these symptoms without pills, procedures, or shame. One of them might surprise you. A 20-year study published in European Urology followed over 10,000 men and found that those who engaged in a certain natural behavior just 21 times per month lowered their lifetime risk of prostate cancer by 33%. No medications. Just a behavior your body already knows how to do. And that's just one of the 5 habits I'll share in this video. If you're tired of the nighttime trips, the frustration, and the feeling that your body is turning against you, stay with me. And if you find this helpful, feel free to subscribe so you won't miss the next parts of this journey. Let's begin. Most men don't realize this, but how you drink water can have a huge impact on your prostate. I'm not talking about some fancy supplement or a detox cleanse. I'm talking about something as simple and as powerful as strategic hydration. See, as we get older, our sense of thirst fades. You may go hours without drinking anything and not even notice. Then suddenly, you're parched and you chug down a full glass in one go, often late in the day. But here's the problem. That late hydration floods your bladder at the worst possible time, when your prostate is already pressing on it and your body is trying to rest. That's a recipe for disrupted sleep, frequent nighttime trips, and an inflamed urinary tract. More than just inconvenience, concentrated urine irritates the bladder and prostate, making symptoms worse. But the fix is surprisingly simple. In a study published in the Journal of Urology, over 2,000 men over 60 followed a hydration pattern that focused on drinking more water earlier in the day and tapering off in the evening. The result? A 41% reduction in nighttime urinary symptoms, including incomplete emptying and urgency. Let that sink in. 41%. No pills, no side effects, just water at the right time. So here's what I tell my patients. Sip water consistently throughout the morning and afternoon. Keep a bottle nearby and take small sips often. Then ease off after dinner, allowing your bladder to settle before bedtime. Think of it like tuning an instrument. You're not flooding your body, you're training it to run smoothly. And when you do, you'll start to notice changes. Less urgency, deeper sleep, and a bit more control coming back into your life. It's a small habit, but it lays the foundation for everything else we'll talk about in this video. Ready for habit number 3? It involves a short daily walk, and what it does for your prostate might surprise you. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Don, 68 years old. Retired mechanic, good sense of humor. But every time he came into my office, he'd grumble about the same thing. "Doc, I go to the bathroom like I'm getting paid for it." At first, he thought it was just age catching up. But once we started talking about daily habits, I asked him something simple. "Don, what do you do right after dinner?" He chuckled and said, "What do you think? Couch? Television? Maybe a nap?" Sound familiar? Most men sit right after eating. It feels natural. But it's actually one of the worst things you can do for your prostate and your overall circulation. You see, after you eat, your blood sugar spikes slightly, your digestion kicks in, and your lower body tends to slow down. That's when everything, including blood flow to your pelvic region, becomes sluggish. But when you take just a 10 to 15-minute walk, even a slow one around the block or down the hallway, everything changes. You're waking up the body, getting blood moving, feeding oxygen and nutrients to areas that need healing, including the prostate. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Don didn't join a gym or get a Fitbit. He just started walking around his backyard twice a day after lunch and after dinner. Within 2 weeks, he told me something had shifted. He wasn't waking up as much at night. His stream felt stronger. And maybe most important of all, he said, he felt like he was doing something, like he had some control again. That's the magic of small movements done consistently. You're not chasing a quick fix. You're helping your body do what it was designed to do. So after your next meal, don't rush to the recliner. Put on a pair of shoes, open the door, and just walk slowly, gently, with purpose. In the next part, I'll share a habit that most men shy away from talking about, but when embraced, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for prostate health. Let's talk about something most men avoid, even when it directly impacts their health: sexual activity. Now, before you shift uncomfortably, let me say this. We're not talking about performance or image or ego. We're talking about biology. Plain and simple. The prostate isn't just a silent gland tucked under the bladder. It's an active part of your reproductive system. It produces and stores a portion of the fluid that carries sperm. And like any system that produces fluid, it needs to be flushed out. When that doesn't happen regularly, those secretions can build up along with dead cells and metabolic waste, creating the perfect environment for inflammation. Over time, this internal stagnation puts additional pressure on the gland and may worsen symptoms you're already facing. Here's where it gets interesting. In a long-term study that tracked over 10,000 men, researchers found that those who ejaculated at least 21 times per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer over their lifetime. That's not speculation. That's data. Regular sexual activity, whether with a partner or alone, isn't just about intimacy or pleasure. It's part of prostate hygiene. It supports circulation in the pelvic region, reduces muscular tension around the gland, and helps the body naturally regulate inflammation. Sadly, many older men carry silent shame around this topic. They worry it's no longer appropriate to care about, or they fear they're somehow abnormal for still wanting that connection. But let me be clear, maintaining a healthy sex life is not only normal, it's good medicine. If you have any concerns, the best thing you can do is speak openly with your doctor. And your prostate? It thrives with consistency. In the next part, we'll look at how the food you eat, starting with what's already in your kitchen, can either inflame your prostate or help protect it for years to come. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take sends signals to your body, messages that either calm inflammation or fan its flames. And when it comes to your prostate, those signals matter more than most men realize. I remember one patient, Harold, who prided himself on eating like a man. Big slabs of meat, fried sides, barely a vegetable in sight. But over the years, he noticed more discomfort, more urgency, and more nights spent wide awake, staring at the ceiling. We didn't start with medications. We started in the kitchen. What Harold learned, and what many men are shocked to discover, is that certain foods speak directly to the prostate, not with volume, but with quiet, steady influence. Take tomatoes, for example. When they're cooked, think marinara sauce, stews, slow roasted. They unlock compounds that naturally support prostate tissue. Or pumpkin seeds, loaded with nutrients that help maintain hormonal balance. Leafy greens, vibrant berries, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage, they don't just keep you regular, they support detox pathways that lighten the burden on your prostate. This isn't about going vegan or giving up every indulgence. It's about small shifts, adding color, variety, and intention to your plate. A simple stir-fry with garlic, broccoli, and shrimp. A salad topped with walnuts and chopped red peppers. A warm bowl of tomato soup with a drizzle of olive oil. Over time, these foods work quietly behind the scenes, reducing inflammation, improving blood flow, and creating an internal environment where your prostate isn't constantly under attack. It's the kind of healing you can taste. And once you feel the difference, fewer flare-ups, more restful nights, a steadier stream, you start to crave that kind of nourishment more than the old habits that weighed you down. Of course, nutrition isn't the only pillar. There's something even more overlooked. Something that affects your hormones, your recovery, and your ability to heal at night. And it all starts the moment your head hits the pillow. We often talk about food, exercise, and hydration when it comes to health. But there's one quiet healer that rarely gets the respect it deserves: deep, uninterrupted sleep. When your body finally rests, truly rests, something powerful happens. Hormones begin to shift. Inflammation settles. Tissues repair. And your prostate, like every other part of you, gets the break it needs to restore. But when sleep is shallow, scattered, or constantly interrupted by trips to the bathroom, that healing process is cut short. Your body stays tense. Stress lingers in your system. And over time, that unrest can wear you down from the inside out. Good sleep isn't just about energy. It's about chemistry. It helps balance hormones that regulate inflammation and protect the prostate from long-term damage. And without it, even the best habits during the day can't do their job fully. That's why creating a restful sleep environment is not a luxury, it's essential. Soft lighting, no screens an hour before bed, a room that's cool, dark, and quiet, a consistent bedtime, even if you don't fall asleep right away. These aren't just wellness tips, they're signals to your nervous system. Messages that say, it's safe now, you can let go. Because when your body feels safe, it heals. And for men struggling with prostate issues, that kind of nightly repair can make all the difference. The good news is, deep rest is within reach, especially when it's built on a foundation of the small but powerful habits we've just walked through. One habit alone may help, but together, they begin to shift something deeper, not just in your body, but in how you move through your day. And maybe, just maybe, how you move through your life. So here we are, 5 habits, 5 quiet but powerful ways to support your prostate after 60. No miracle pills, no dramatic overhauls, just small, consistent steps you can take every single day. And listen, I know what some of you might be thinking. Doc, is sipping water and taking a walk really going to change my life? You'd be surprised. Because when these simple actions become part of your rhythm, everything else starts to shift. Your sleep improves, your confidence grows, your body starts to trust you again, and you start trusting it. You don't have to do it all perfectly. You just have to start. One better meal, one short walk, one quiet night of sleep where your body actually gets to heal. And the best part? You don't have to figure this out alone. I'm here not just as your doctor, but as someone walking this path with you. We're in this together. If this video helped you, or even gave you a little hope, share it with someone you care about. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what habit you're starting with. You never know who might be inspired by your words. This isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where your prostate doesn't call the shots. You do.